Up on me, I know shit's sad, but you gotta. Don't front, chop a dump. My bitch pretty, I fuck for the front. Took the L, I came back and I won. Hold up the fight, he came back with a gun. Don't front, top two, but you not number one. I know what she found out her son. I know you know that I'm not the one. Baby, I'm not the one. New whip, new box of gun. Full of shaky, she like it's fun. Doesn't vote, I know she like get drunk. Gucci gang, I just bought a little pump. If I tell Billy do it, it's done. Who want smoke, I'ma roll up a blunt. And she said she hate me, still gave me the bunch. I got put cause I stay with a gun. I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm not one of them. Yeah, I'm smart, but I let her go dumb. Body different, I came from the slums. You know me, I've been strong from young. Super love me, I've been going.
He originally opened in 1995 as Jacksonville Municipal Stadium when this franchise entered the NFL. We welcome you to Jacksonville and TIAA Bank Field. This crowd excited to see their Jaguars as both teams emerged from their tunnels a moment ago. We are just about ready for football as the Jags get set to match up with the New Orleans Saints. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. And he'll power his way up near the 25. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down. This defense for the Jags, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
From the 24, Love. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Play action this time with Love. Into a double team and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the hold on special teams backs him up all the way inside the 15 to start. A handoff for Etienne. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Play action. It's Fields sliding out of the pocket. And Sharp pulls it in. 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Now, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch, and that one wound up in the end zone.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 7-0. And And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On play action, Love to throw. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big connection on that one. 37 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. It looks so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Love, they go play action now. Rolling to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. What a dimension this man brings to this defense. He had his mind set there that he was going to get in and make that tackle. He really flew to the football.
And that is a situation where in a defender's mind, you just have to pick a point on the football field and think to yourself, I'm going to sprint full out and meet him at that point. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but he had to play diagnosed perfectly there.
They'll roll him out right. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped, but what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Play clock at 4. We're going to get a timeout called. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Quick slant caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they scored in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And they'll run here with ETN. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now after the false start, here's second and 7. One play action, Fields. He'll fight his man, LaVisca Chenault. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 down at the 33. Here's a give to ETN. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
To throw on second and 6. Fields, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. Does the big boy have the juice? The 20. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings this one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Try to pound it in, Kamara. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Love. Flush to his right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints have taken the lead. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From the 10. And it takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
He'll get that complete to Alberto. It's a room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Well, for a tight end, he can definitely motor, and he shows off the wheels there after the catch as he's able to shake free.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
Lambo to add on the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown. And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home? I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often. No, they're not choreographed very well usually. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Second and 8 at the 19-yard line.
8 yards to go on second down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Over the middle, into the hands of Michael Thomas. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jordan Love ready on first down here. He gets it left side of Johnson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
To the air again, Love. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 45-yard line. Coming left is Kamara. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Second down at 4. Now Love. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it'll be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Etienne. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles about the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
On second down, Etienne once more. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Rolling to his right. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Lambo on for the extra point. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with a little under a minute remaining, they may try to put something together here just to try to cut into that deficit. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Off the play fake, Love. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Working out of the gun. Love. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Going back to Love. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Complete, it's Johnson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 23. Love now. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys...
And it looked like he got the feed down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 65 yards. And the Jags are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing. Love. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Touchdown, Saints. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Taken at about the 1. And he returns this to the 22. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Second down and 3. ETN once more, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Now Fields. Able to complete this to Shenault. And he is going to have a Jags first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Etienne. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. That's going to be caught. It's Shenault. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. That's complete. Okuebuna. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Fields. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Albert O, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And the lead down to 3 touchdowns at 21. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On 2nd and 12, Love is going to let this one go deep. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 49. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique, and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance. He's helping his team in a huge way.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another tote for Etienne. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the counter, Etienne, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Second and 12. Running out of the gun with Etienne. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Fields. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Saints are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. The interception was a good starting point, but still a huge hill to climb with his 3-score deficit and time fading. Following the interception, Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point tacked on by Lambo, and that'll increase their lead to 28. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Love back to it here after the pick six. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
On play action. Love to throw. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 40. Play action this time with Love. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They'll try the left side with Etienne. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Kari Willis there to bring him down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. And they'll go again with Etienne. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 66 yards on the ground for him so far. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game, and that has to drive a coach crazy.
He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now it's Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And the Saints are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. Boy, people are really happy about those picks. Any fantasy team that has this defense.
On 1st and 10, Love. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Jordan Love ready on 1st down here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. able to get there and pick it. And the Jags are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Etienne with it, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Etienne. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Where were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Jacksonville, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.